Oh yeah, a very good morning to you and welcome to Good Morning Anambra. It is Friday, thank God it's Friday.
What was thanking God, man? It's amazing to start the week and end the week, and not just ending the week, but in good health. So glory
very
to God.
Important.
Glory to
So
God.
if you are not feeling very well this morning, sorry, but it shall be well. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Ejike, good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, my guy. That's Ejike Abata is our guest this morning as we look at what the papers are saying this morning. Do stand by. Uche. It's time for us to begin to look at the news coming from our website and those of the newspapers that have been sent in this morning. Like I said, the guest this morning is Ejike Abata. Ejike, you're welcome again.
Thank you very much.
I better recognize my colleague. Okay.
Yeah, welcome, Ejike.
Thank you.
All right. Soludo reassures of prudence the management of Anambra Resources. This is a first story coming from the ABS website this morning. And then Anambra State government suspends gaming, casino activities in hotels, restaurants, and bars. And finally from here, Soludo goes tough against illegal revenue collectors. All these and many more are the stories making the rounds in our website this morning, www.absradiotv.orca.com. Okay, well, the governor was here at AGK, and did I see you yesterday?
No, I wasn't here.
Okay, so it was the gathering of the pressmen, and from what he said yesterday, that's why this first topic is coming from reassurance of prudence management of Anambra Resources.
As it stands, we are in dire straits this moment. Anambra pocket is somewhere running dry, and the little we have, it's only fair and just that it is managed prudently, such that we're able to cut off unnecessary expenses or projects and give preference to projects that will be of beneficial to Anambra, the persons in Anambra. So his call is it's in order.
We are going to match that topic with this one down here that says Soludo goes tough against illegal revenue collectors.
Yes, that story caught my attention, and it has been a worry for me because government keeps making these statements, no more collection of tax or revenue, especially from motorists illegally. But we keep seeing these people. That's my problem, especially in Awka. Even if they are unable to curtail it in every other part of the state, Awka, they are at Unity Junction, they are at Regina. So why is government not able to hold these people and put them where they belong? Government has said we don't want these people on the road, and then the problem is the motorists, commercial drivers comply by way of still giving tips to these illegal collectors. I see it in the sense that they do not want a problem, because if they decide to take laws into their hands by challenging these people, it will cause a breakdown of law and order. So government should do what it needs to do.
What do you think is their challenge? What do you think is the government's challenge in tackling this illegal revenue collection?
I've seen security agents apprehend some illegal revenue collectors. I do not want to call them motor parked outs. in other areas, but I've not seen in Oka. So if one or two persons are arrested in Oka, I think others will leave the parks.
You basically think that arrest would solve the issues? Because I know even in the past administrations, when it comes to issues like this, the illegal people, you get them arrested, but before the end of the day, they're out there again. The same people you arrested.
It falls back to the government because they fail to prosecute. If you arrest somebody, you charge the person to court. And also, let's remember that the government has said, we are taking you off the streets. Go to your local government, register, drop your name and your phone number. So we will train you on different skills. I don't know how many of them have done that. So government has in some way have played its own part.
I know,
but it needs to do more.
So is it just enough to ask them, people who have been controlling money, millions, to just drop their tools, get back to, and then start learning how to do carpentry work? And
that may not give them, in a day,
such amount of money. I understand, but we have to start somewhere.
We have to start somewhere, and that's what we want to understand. Where do we start? Because we want this thing stopped. Because it's giving us a very wrong image.
The people involved, the Keke, Shuttles, and all of those guys are not finding it funny because the government has made it clear what they should pay when it comes to tax, and they are trying to understand that part, key into it, and after doing that, some set of people on the road are standing and saying, it doesn't tell all of them. A lot of them with families, people know the economic situation.
It doesn't, obviously. It doesn't. That's why government really needs to be hard on them. Let's see the
That's where I'm going,
action.
because you have to do something.
Let's see the action.
If the government says do things like this and you refuse to do it, that should be repercussions.
Yes, they should clamp down on them.
So that the next person will take heed. Otherwise, we'll keep seeing these things repeating.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to our very first paper this morning. The Daily Sun is our first paper. Let's look at the big headline on the Daily Sun. It says, Constitution Review. House of Assembly Speakers fights back. The writers there accuse Omo Agege of blackmail, misleading Nigerians. And up there, we've got pressure mount on federal government as senators join in call for Kanu's release. APC, Buni left 7.5 billion naira legal debt. Bloated staff, Adamu and Source Memorial. We didn't fire life bullets to disperse protesters. That's coming from the police. Demonstrators demand end to police brutality. Occupy Lekki Toll Gate with mock coffins. Buhari sacks NDDC sole administrator, approves constitution of new board. We've got Lagos Ibadan Express way tanker crash, claims 10 lives. Kogi gets first derivation allocation as oil producing state. We've got P2B suspends campaign. Visit Benue victims, IDPs. Flawed. U.S. commits $1 million in emergency humanitarian aid to Nigeria. And of course, Alaba market clash. Police confirm 1 dead, arrest 5. Army begins exercise till water to curb kidnapping and militancy. Quickly, we could just pick one story, Ejike. Which would you want us to talk about?
It's important I talk about the NSAS memorial yesterday. I know there was a procession at the Lekki Toll Gate, and in all of it, there was somewhat kind of confrontation between the police.
Why would the police come out again?
Well, for me, it's not out of place for police to come out, just to ensure that some persons do not hijack the procession. But where the problem lies is, there needs to be this understanding. Tempers are high already, and everybody is on their toes. And the police said they had an agreement that the procession won't stop. They are expected to pass through. That was the agreement they had. But unfortunately, when, let me call them, the protesters got to the toll gates, they stopped and laid down the mock coffin they were bearing. And at that point, traffic began to build up. So, well, I think the police, I wasn't there, but I think the police should have engaged them and let them see reasons why they should continue with the procession so that there will be free flow of traffic. But the police decided to fire tear gas. That was where the problem started. But aside that, it's a good thing that people still saw the need to come out and let the world know for the sake of those who passed away on October 10 and 20th October 2020. This is the second anniversary, and there's a list of persons who lost, not just that, who lost their lives, not just on that day, but prior to that day. Government needs to learn their lessons, and unfortunately, not much has changed since that protest. Not much. The brutality has not stopped, and we hope the message will really sink in.
Okay.
All right, let's quickly move on because time is really not our friend. Let's take the next two papers. The Punch newspaper is next. Let's look at what the Punch has for us this morning. The big story says 10.7 trillion naira budget deficit. Government may sell TBS, NIPP's 25 key assets. Okay, we also have with riders there, no bidders yet. We have register of assets, BPE. Federal government eyeing NNPC, value estimated at over 30 trillion naira. Government must be transparent in sale process, says experts. And we've got, we have lost our most valued crude oil buyers, that's coming from the federal government. AMCON sells Polaris Bank for 50 billion naira. National carrier, domestic airlines reject Nigeria-Ethiopian deal. And of course, we've got NSAS, youth demand justice, police tear gas protesters. Nigeria's orders risk political instability, says IMF. And 13 dying Ogun Lagos crashes. FRSC blames night travel. Okay, let's look at the next paper, which is the Daily Independent.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's look at what the Daily Independent has for us this morning. The big story on the Daily Independent says bailout funds, a breather for states as federal government holds monthly debt deductions. With riders there, the federal government, states, stakeholders to find solutions to flooding problem. NPHCDA says 4 to 6 million persons have been fully vaccinated. Down there we've got, it will be difficult for us to meet 3.019 trillion naira target. That's coming from the customs. Sacks more than 2,000 over sharp practices. Up there we've got how Jadon fell our PDP governors, party elders in Lagos. We've got strategic capital acquires Polaris Bank, CBN AMCON announced sale. Let's look at this day before we go to our next analysis. Let's look at this day newspaper too. This day says Siemens deal. Buhari assures 20 power transformers, mobile substations ready by May. Says 2 transformers for inauguration next month. Reiterates partnership with Germany, Siemens, to improve electricity generation. Lauds training of 5,000 Nigerian engineers on the PPI. Here we've got Obasanjo laments deplorable conditions of roads in Nigeria. And up here we've got Senate House committees back SICL's 100% acquisition of Polaris Bank. Ejike.
Federal government looks to sell 27 assets to raise or to augment the 2023 budget. The question now is, if they sell all this, which one would the incoming administration sell? If that's the way they seem to want to raise
25 key assets.
Key assets, including the National Theatre in Lagos.
As somebody was just asking, who is managing this country? Where are they from? Are they Nigerians?
It's funny. I don't know. How would you think of selling? And the worst part of it is they still sell these things back to their cronies. You don't go about selling national assets just like that. If prior governments have sold these, if they had sold these assets, which one would they
meet to sell?
Meet to sell? We don't seem to get our priorities right. Beyond that, Custom have said they may not be able to meet their target of about 3 point something trillion. And the question is, is custom a revenue generating agency? Is that the duty of the custom? Is that what the act that established the custom says? Are they supposed to generate tax or collect tax or generate revenue for the government, or to check illegal goods that are being imported into the country?
No, they generate revenue. There are custom duties to all the imported and exported goods in this country. They pay custom duties.
Yes, they do pay custom duties, but it seems their role now is, their major role now is to generate revenue beyond, to the detriment of looking out for illegal goods or contraband goods being imported into the country. Okay. Their focus now is how to generate, and that is where the interest of the federal government and even the National Assembly is when it comes to custom, where to generate money, how much has been generated, and all of that. So it's quite unfortunate.
And the monies that are generated, we don't know where they go to.
They generate money, they borrow money, time and time again, because I don't understand where the selling of the 25 key assets, will be coming from. We've read and we've seen that the banks, countries rather, from Switzerland and other countries have repatriated money that has to do with Obacha's loot and a lot of other money. We saw what happened to Diziani and the whole money. What exactly is going on in the country is the question. This money being generated, this money being repatriated back to the country.
The ones being borrowed.
The one being borrowed, where is it channeled to? Why are we selling our assets?
Why are we selling Nigeria? Yes, because by the time you sell 25 key assets of Nigeria, and coupled with the ones you have sold before,
what do you have left?
What do you still have left? And to even know that you don't even know who you are selling this to. The other day we heard that the Chinese are establishing their police station in Nigeria.
Yes.
We don't even know who we are selling Nigeria to.
Even though the police in Benin has refuted that report, saying there is no such
that is the local reputation.
That's why we need a government with human face, so that we'll be able to hold government responsible when such things happen. We can't begin to talk about how much has been repatriated from the US, Switzerland, and other parts of the world, but we can't lay our hands on those monies because we don't know what projects they were used for. The ones that were borrowed were used to establish roads in other parts of the country except the southeast. And how are those roads functioning today? So we need a government with human face. We need a government that will be able to hold responsible. We need a government that will be accountable and truthful to us. That's why 2023 is very, very important.
Okay, there's another story I want us to go back to from the Daily Sun, where
Daily Sun, okay. Which of the
okay, the one that is beside the name template.
The pressure mounting on federal government.
Yes.
A senator's joining call for Kano's release. That one.
Okay, that's the story. And just yesterday we heard that they have gone to the Supreme Court. That Malami has gone to Supreme Court, insisting that Nnamdi Kanu must not be released.
Yes, it's only fair and just for traditional rulers and lawmakers from this part of the country to speak or speak in one voice. Government, the court has gave its ruling, and of course we have to follow due process. The matter has been taken to the Supreme Court. Let's hope that the lawyers will do what they should do, so that the judgment will be upheld.
Do you see the Supreme Court judges jettison the judgment of the appeal courts?
We never saw the judgment of the appeal courts coming, so let's not preempt. Okay. We never saw nobody expected it.
I did anyway, because I've been following the case.
What we want is justice. At the end of it all, what we want is justice.
Okay.
All right, let's move on for once of time. The Nation newspaper is next. Let's pick our last three papers as we move. The Nation newspaper, the big story says federal government halts deduction of central bank loans to states. With riders there, NEC raises panel to reveal budget support repayment terms. Up there, stop your blackmail, speaker tells Omo Agege. Nigeria to launch Africa's first payment card. January, CBN, AMCON announced sale of Polaris Bank 45 days after UK Prime Minister Truss quits. US plans $1 million humanitarian aid for flood victims. 10 burnt in Lagos. Ibadan Express explosion. APC presidential aspirant back Tinubu says Adamu. That's on the Nation. Let's look at the Guardian newspaper. Lots of stories there on the Guardian newspaper. Nigerian Air raves on excess budget, doubtful partnership model. And we've got a mental disorder, how economic security uncertainties COVID-19 fuel numbers. We've got camp president dissociates self from APC presidential campaign list. Truth resigns after 45 days as UK PM. Tragedy is 10 die, 5 vehicles burnt in Ogun tanker explosion. Alaba market leaders confirm 3 deaths, 28 injured persons in clash with Agberos. And finally, the Daily Trust is our last paper this morning. Let's look at what it has for us. Custom sacks over 2,000 officers for corruption. That's coming from Hamid Ali. With writers there expresses concern over meeting 3 trillion naira target to raise $1.176 billion after total automation of operations, and justifies tax increase on vehicles. A corruption high under Buni committee. Adamu, federal government to privatize Ajaokuta Steel. It's coming from Minister. And of course, we've talked about the 10 burnt to death as tanker explodes on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Siemens transformers will boost power supply from November. That's coming from Buhari. That's it on the papers this morning. But quickly, AJK, which would you want to touch? The Guardian newspaper. The stories about Nigeria air raves and excess budget, doubtful partnership model. Of recently, the airports, the airlines have been complaining bitterly about business.
Business, there's every reason for them to complain. Jet A1 is, a price of Jet A1 is on the high side. Flight ticket that used to be 50,000 naira is now about between 80 to 90,000 naira.
That's for local. Even for international is heading up to millions.
Yes, it's already in millions. I'm talking about local for now. So business is not, everything seems to have gone wrong in recent times. There's complaint everywhere. We are even talking about Nigeria Airways bringing in Ethiopia to come and manage our airline. And just yesterday, they were told, Nigerians were told that they will only get 5% equity from the management. Ethiopia will get about 40-something%, while investors will get 41%. And
excuse me, 1 minute, please. Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. What's your name?
Hi, very good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, my name is Femi. I am calling from Lagos.
Okay, welcome, Femi.
Yes. I want to have a take on the issue of customs sacking 2,000 officers for corruption. 2,000 officers for corruption.
Yeah.
That is to tell you how rotten Nigeria has driven itself to. Imagine a situation where 2,000 officers were sacked for corruption. I want to see it as these ones are the most unfortunate officers. There is no sector of the economy in Nigeria that is not rotten. And I want to state categorically that this administration has failed Nigerians. I am using this opportunity to call Nigerians everywhere. Let them look very well. In 2023 general election, they should use their initiative. They should vote a political party or individual, a candidate that has the nearness of Nigerians at heart, not people that will take on sand into the fire in 2023. This is my submission.
Thank you,
again, I want to talk about the privatization. You see, the one federal government has done has never yielded anything. Look at what NEPA is doing. Look at what other agencies that are being privatized by the federal government. It is only to their own profit and not to the profit of the Nigerian masses. They should halt those privatization. If you look at an administration that has few months to hand over to a new administration, they are preparing to sell other government properties. The court should stand up and the people organization should stop this recent privatization. This is my submission.
Thank you, Femi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I think before we go, we have to look at what is going on in Britain. This lady that just came in 45 days ago.
That's a typical European for you. And you know, sometimes when you contest for an election and you get into the office, you realize this wasn't what I expected, or this wasn't what I saw before I applied for this job. I think that was what happened. And she came out clear and said, I can't deliver on my promises. And
but there's this confusion. Is she actually resigning as the leader of the party or as the prime minister?
She's resigning as leader of the party.
Yeah, good morning. 1 minute. Yeah, good morning. Hey, we can barely hear you. Are you talking to us? Hello?
Yeah, I just want to contribute on 2,000 officers and we start.
Okay, what's your name? What is your name?
Yeah. My name is Christopher.
And you are calling from where?
I'm calling from Oka.
Okay, go ahead, ma.
My question is that if they can sack 2,000 officers for corruption, in Kabal and in Aso Rock, how many have they sacked? That is my question. If they can sack 2,000 officers in Kabal and in Aso Rock, how many have they sacked? That is my question.
Good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you. Good question. You need to start sucking yourself.
And so, as regards your question, she resigned as leader of the party and the prime minister as well.
But there's this story of still waiting for somebody to replace her.
Yeah,
of course, yes, until they find a replacement, then she will.
How do you?
No, we're talking about the act, and this is why the Western people will continue to succeed.
Quite different.
I mean, it's clear she's not there to embezzle money.
At all.
And then again, if you look at what she has done in Nigeria, you've not done anything. she sent an official mail through her personal mail. That was her wrong.
No, that was the Home Secretary.
No,
that's different. That's the Home Secretary. It's also part of it. The Home Secretary just sent a mail.
Under you.
Yes.
You take responsibility of anybody that's working under you.
Of course. And you begin
but I think her own was connected to the Brexit issue and all the rest of things. And then the problem that they have within the party. Okay.
But looking at the act,
that's the important thing.
Where do we go from here? Let's narrow it down to the political spheres in Nigeria.
We're quite far from them, and it will be very difficult for such to happen in Nigeria. Kudos to Jonathan, who lost a presidential election and then congratulated his opponents. Let's also look forward to somebody getting, 2023 is fast approaching, let's look forward to somebody getting into office and then after 6 months say, in fact, sorry, this is not what I expected and let's look forward to it. That's what I said.
Yeah,
let's look forward to it. Let's look forward to it.
Thank you. We must go, Ebere.
All right, thank you very much. That's the much you can take on Press Review this morning. You can go out and pick any of the papers and get yourself educated, entertained, and of course informed on what's going on and happening in your localities and at the world at large. I want to say a very big thank you to our guest this morning, Mr. Ejike Agbata, a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Barry.
All right. Okay, we're still going to be here. I'm here. IG is going to be here. Our next segment will be discussing something that you would like to be part of. Stay with us.
All right.